Yes. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be going over a 2021 Cadillac CT5 V. But first and foremost, a huge shout out and thank you to Performance Ford Truck Country here in Bountiful for giving me some time with this Cadillac. Check out their inventory in the link below. Let's get straight into the video. So under the hood, we have a twin-turbo 3-liter V6 that's paired to a 10-speed automatic transmission. Power outputs are 360 horsepower and then 405 pound-feet of torque. Let's go over the front end of the CT5 V. So first off, I love the lines here on the hood. Definitely gives it a nice muscular, but then also kind of like a boxy look that Cadillac is known for. And then coming down below, we've got Cadillac's signature accent light that you guys are familiar with because of the new Escalade. And then we've got the full LED reflector lights. We've got the all blacked out grille here in the front end. We do have parking sensors integrated throughout. And then just below the Cadillac logo, we do have a camera as well. But yeah, overall, the front end of this looks very muscular and I absolutely love it, especially in this blue paint. Now coming on the side here, we've got two 55mm tires wrapped around 20-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. I love the fact that they went for blacked out wheels to kind of contrast the blue paint on this particular car. And then notice that we've got the matching blue brake calipers, definitely another cool touch. And then I love how the side skirts are blacked out again to create some contrast. And then notice they do it with the mirror, so you've got the blue on the top, the black at the bottom. We have another V badge right there to let everyone know that you've got the car that is way faster than theirs. And other than that, there's your full side view. So here's the trunk in the CT5. First off, notice we've got all of the rubber floor mats back here, and they even have the Cadillac logo on them. That is pretty cool. But in terms of storage space, I mean, it's pretty good for this kind of like middle of the line size-wise for a sedan. And well, other than that, so you go. Something I want to mention before we finish things up in the rear is notice that the key fob is color matched to the car. That is pretty cool. But finishing things up in the back. So stylistically, notice we've got this kind of like low profile spoiler, and then we've got Cadillac's signature LED lights there at the bottom, which I think look absolutely fantastic. Got our CT5 badge, our all-wheel drive badge, and then you've got the V badge on the other side. And then you guys can see the exhaust tips here at the bottom. And then notice even that is color matched with the diffuser. That's all pretty cool. But other than that, that is everything for the rear. Now here's a door panel in the back. Notice we've got the carbon fiber trim here at the top. We've got the leather down below with the stitching all throughout. And then this does come with the Bose sound system. I love the design there on the speaker. And then here are the seats in the back. So again, we've got full leather. We've got the perforated leather here in the center portion with all of that contrasted stitching. And we'll quickly pop in here so we can see what the room is like. Legroom is solid. Got some nice vents there. Headroom solid as well. It actually smells really good in this car. Notice we've got the little storage pocket in the back. And then this pulls down to be a couple cup holders. That's all for the back. Now here's a door panel in the front. So again, we've got all of the carbon fiber trim here with all the leather down below and then the stitching that goes all throughout. And then again, another speaker for the Bose sound system. All of our window controls right here with the mirror adjustments. And then that is for the trunk. Got another V plaque right there. And then here are the seats at the front. Notice we have the little Cadillac badge. And then again, same design with the perforated leather in the center and then really nice leather on the outside. The seats are fully power adjustable. And then look at the pedals right there. Got our parking brake up above. The steering wheel is automatically adjustable. There's the paddle on the back, and there's one more look before we pop in. So here is our steering wheel in this CT5 V. So we've got Alcantara around the whole steering wheel, and then notice we have nice stitching here on the airbag cover, definitely like that, and then obviously the Cadillac logo in the center. We have our V mode button here on the steering wheel, and then all your practical car stuff. So your volume controls, voice command controls, we've got the cruise control with the distance setting, heated steering wheel button. I really like the paddles here on the back. They definitely have a nice metallic feel to them. And then notice we've got the light stock / turn signal stock, windshield wiper stock on the other side, and that's all for the steering wheel. Now here is the center gauge cluster. There's a few different menus you can scroll through there on the side. So for example, we can see the performance with the 0 to 60 time, all that kind of stuff. I think that is pretty cool. I love the look of the digital gauge. And then notice if you put the V mode on, it actually opens up the valve so the exhaust is louder, but it pops up there on the center screen. And then we do have some different drive modes we can go through. So notice we've got our My mode, and then that's the one that you kind of customize yourself. We've got the snow and the ice, track, and Sport, which again open up the valves. Then we have the Touring mode as well. But yeah, those are all of the different drive modes that you can go for. And again, I love the look of this center gauge cluster. It looks so good. Now here's the center infotainment system for the CT5. You guys know I'm a huge fan of this infotainment system. Response time on it is fantastic. It does come with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And then if we pop it into reverse, well, actually pop it into reverse, backup camera is going to pop up, and you've got camera views everywhere. So notice you've got the views at the front and you've got views out of the side. So everything's pretty much covered from a camera perspective. So like I say in a lot of videos, if you hit into something while parking this, it's definitely your fault. But yeah, that's all the infotainment system. So we've got our dual zone climate controls just down below, which will actually turn that down just a little bit. I love the look of the buttons on this, and yeah, it definitely has a nice feel in terms of the actuation of those buttons. And then notice we've got our heated cooled seat controls up here, the lane departure assistance, and then this is for the camera system to turn that on. So it says 360 and shows a little camera icon on it. We've got our drive mode select down here, stability control, auto stop start, and then the auto hold, wireless phone charger, and then we've got this covering for the cup holders. We have the same shifter that we have in the Cadillac Escalade in here, so it's pretty cool to see this in here. Functionality on it is great. It's just cool to see this in another Cadillac. I know it seems silly, but just anyways. Got all the analog controls for the infotainment system, so you don't have to use the touchscreen. You can use this if you would prefer, and then notice carbon fiber all around. So here's the center console. If we open that up, you can see good amount of storage space. Yes, we do have a window sticker, so we can actually go over that. Even though this is a pre-owned car with 2,400 miles, we can still go over the original pricing on it. Anyways, got the glove box right there, more carbon fiber across, and then more stitching all over the dash. And then if we finish things up here at the very top, we do have a dual sunroof situation. So we've got the sunroof here in the front and then over in the rear as well. The controls for it are just right over here at the front. Universal garage door openers, and that's all for the top. So here's our window sticker for the CT5 V, and then notice that that exterior color is called Wave Metallic. Definitely love the color. So I'm just gonna give you guys a full look at the whole car so you guys can see everything. And look at that, we got Brembo brakes up front, pretty cool. Yeah, with all of the stuff that this has, this should actually drive really good with all the performance goodies they have added to it as standard. And then this does have some optional equipment. First off, that premium package, pretty pricey. This thing is as fully loaded as it gets. Good gravy. So you guys can see the total MSRP there, $67,700 brand new. And then also we didn't go over fuel economy, so 18 around town, 26 on the highway. Let's take her out and see how she drives. Let's talk about visibility before we set off here. So you guys can see visibility over the hood, and now you can see the heads-up display. There's your visibility through both of the mirrors. I love the shape of them. And then here's the rest of the rear, and let's set off. So we are setting off here in this CT5V, and bear with me, I have never driven in this location, so I'm gonna obviously probably get lost in today's video, so I guess this will be half car review, half exploring. But first setting off, I love how this rides. Ride quality is very, very smooth. The transmission also super smooth with the gear shifts. The 10-speed automatic in this is just perfection. You guys know I'm a huge fan of GM's 10 speeds. And something I just noticed is the shifter actually has Alcantara on the front. I know I didn't mention that in the walk around, but I can just feel it right now. Didn't realize that. That is pretty unique. But obviously this video is partially about this car's performance because it is a V model. So we'll pop it over into the track mode because, well, why not? And we'll pop open the V setting as well. And then we'll pop it over into the manual mode on top of that. So we just pull the shifter down. Wow, those gear shifts are like instantaneous. So I had a, obviously you guys know I had a Camaro ZL1 1LE, and this feels just as snappy as that from a transmission perspective. I wonder if it has the same downshift function. So if I hold down the minus paddle, we'll actually go to this light first, and then with the ZL1, it'll downshift to the lowest possible gear. We'll see if this does this too. Yep, automatic. Wow. That sounds so good. This car is a big surprise to me. I didn't even know that Cadillac built something like this, to be honest. Like, I knew they built V models. I didn't know that they were this exciting to drive. And yeah, they've got a lot of stuff going for them. So again, acceleration, you guys heard the power figures, just over 400 pound-feet of torque and 360 horsepower. So yeah, it's good from an acceleration standpoint, but the transmission's definitely the star. And again, you can just hold down the minus paddle. It'll downshift it into the lowest possible gear. The snap sound that it makes when it shifts gears is just absolute perfection. Oh my gosh, I love this thing. We are gonna get an acceleration pretty much from a stop here with the CT5V. Yes. Oh my goodness, I love this car. Yeah, this transmission, again, it's just so snappy, and the sound you get on upshifts is just absolutely beautiful. Even though this is just a little V6, it still has this just excitement to it. Again, oh, that sounds so cool. I love this transmission. This car is great. So let's get into setting things up here with this CT5V. So first off, exterior wise, it looks really good actually. So Cadillac's new styling, even though it's still kind of like the corporate Cadillac styling, it looks great on the outside, especially in this blue color. It really stands out. Interior wise, it's actually really nice. All of the touch points that you actually are going to, again, touch on a regular basis feel great. The steering wheel feels great, the paddles feel great, the shifter feels great, center console, all that kind of stuff all feels really nice. And then the stuff you're not going to touch, like the dash and all that, isn't as nice, but it still has cool stitching and everything. I also forgot to mention technology. Well, it's got the camera mirror, has really cool technology as well. And then from a driving experience perspective, the all-wheel drive gets amazing grips. You don't have issues with that whatsoever. The transmission is super quick to respond, super snappy, sounds fantastic on upshifts as well. And this car still drives like a Cadillac. It's very smooth. There's actually very minimal body roll, but it's also extremely smooth. And so this would actually be a great sporty daily driver. And I mean, I'm surprised I haven't reviewed one of these. Like, this is probably one of the biggest surprises of this year for me with this Cadillac. It's such a good luxury sports car. And again, it's more on the luxury side, but it still has enough sportiness to it that it's an exciting car to drive. And so, yeah, that is the CT5V. Now let's get into some things up for our video on this 2021 Cadillac CT5V. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to Performance Ford Truck Country for giving me some time with this CT5V. Check out their inventory and link below. I'll see all of you in that next video.